Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where it's time for the yearly event known as The Rising, a celebration of the anniversary of Final Fantasy XIV's relaunch as A Realm Reborn. Today, the day that The Rising begins, and also the day I'm recording this, is the game's 11th birthday. Happy 11 years of this wonderful MMO. And unusually, at least as far as I've been playing, the Rising usually happens in Ul'dah, but this year it appears to be in Limsa. Alright then, let's go ahead and speak to the Wandering Minstrel and get started. The Wandering Minstrel seeks an adventurer both willing and able to help put the finishing touches to this year's Rising celebrations. Oh yes, if you are just joining us for the Rising and not watching the full series, right now I am recovering from an illness. I have a persistent cough. The illness is long past. I just have a persistent cough, and who knows how long that'll last. So, I have got a cough drop in. Hopefully I don't cough too much, and if I do cough, hopefully I cut it out, but I might forget, and I apologize for that. Anyways, rising to the call. Of all the coincidences, you'll hardly believe it, but I was just this very moment reminiscing of the time you lent me your strength at 12 months past. You see, I again find myself in pressing need of an adventurer's aid, just as I did last Rising. Oh, if only Satora were here, I thought to myself. And here you are! Well then, what do you say? Shall we clasp arms once more? Alright, Yoshi P. You summoned me, I'm here. My thanks. The matter is this. I've been approached by a lady named Ayoyo, who, for some reason I was expecting to follow up with the last name. Ayoyo, who wishes to imprint her own inimitable mark upon the skies above Limsa. I speak, of course, of the fireworks that illumine these rising nights. Learning of my contributions to the previous year's festivities, she has enlisted me to her cause. We already have the ear of the organizing committee. However, Lady Ayoyo has expressed a strong desire to consult with the storied adventurer before finalizing her proposal. Come to the Yellow Jacket's guardhouse at the base of the Coral Tower and I will introduce you. Alright then, off to the Coral Tower. That's going to be the Marauders Guild. Alright, where are you, Wandering Minstrel? Sorry, not looking for the Wandering Minstrel directly, we're looking for a yo-yo. Hang on, where? The quest marker's right here. Okay, I feel like I'm about to learn something about the Coral Tower that I never knew before. Yep, I'm learning something new about the Coral Tower that I never knew before. There is a lower floor, holy crap. I have never been down here. Oh, that's very funny. Of course there's a lower level. Of course there's a lower level. You come here during the Marauder quest, don't you? I totally forgot. Hello there, Ayoyo. Lady Ayoyo, one storied adventurer as promised. Hi, so I am the Warrior of Light, Satora Lancy. Blessing of the 12s be upon ya. Name's Ayoyo, Cannoneer First Class with the Yellow Jackets. It's an honor to have you on board. Did I mention that it is the Yellow Jackets who are in charge of this year's festivities? Not only in decorating of these fair luminescent streets, but in designing and constructing the fireworks that brighten the skies above them. Lady Ayoyo here is quite the savant in all matters incendiary and explosive, and so it has fallen to her to formulate a plan for the display's crowning glory. Me and the other lads and lassies of the Cannoneers whipped up a load of lovely little drakes, snakes, and devils for the Moonfire Fair, but more of the same ain't gonna cut it for the Rising. 'Cause it's all about remembering those we lost in the Calamity, ain't it? Them and theirs deserve something might specialer than a bunch of old bangers. An admirable sentiment, I'm sure. It would not do for our ode to such poignant memories to be aught less than memorable. Let us make this year's Rising one that the citizens of this fair realm will not soon forget. Took the words right out of me mouth, dearie. Thing is, I haven't hardly set foot out of limbs in all me days. I don't reckon I'm best placed to know what's going on through the minds of the citizens of this fair realm. And so you would pick an adventurer's brains, one who has journeyed far and wide across this land we love and knows it and its people intimately. Yet before we call upon your particular wisdom, mayhap it would behoove us to seek out a wider range of opinions. Many and more look to the skies come rising night, and the thoughts that run through their minds are no doubt as diverse. Let us learn them. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan! Mind if I join you, dearie? Could do with some learning of these thoughts myself. Alright, I don't mind if you come along. Right then, where's best to start asking around? Someplace a lot of outsiders gather, I reckon. How about we meet in the Aetheryte Plaza down in the lower decks? While you two are so engaged, allow me to continue our discussions with the organizing committee. I shall await you by the aft castle. Alright, then onwards we go to the Aetheryte Plaza. My roommates are screaming about stuff later in the event, so I am very curious why they are screaming a particular character's name. Alright then, hello there, a yo-yo. You ready to start asking around? You see them lights down Akra's alley, dearie? Decorations for the festival they are. Every year when the streets are all decked out for the Rising, me heart fills with, well, all kinds of feelings. Sorrow, pride, regrets. But enough about me. We came here to find out how the other folks feel about it. Let's split up, head down the alley, and ask a few likely-looking customers each. We're on a schedule here, so don't go asking every single soul you see. 4 or 5 should do ya. I'll meet you down by the ferry docks when you're done. Alright, let's go talk to some people, learn how everyone's feeling about the Rising. Alright, first off we have Swozblade. Welcome, welcome, what may I interest you in this fine morning? I was actually curious about how you're feeling about the Rising. Information, is it? Well, if you really must know, the whizzing and banging that fills the air this season always takes me back to the time just before the calamity struck. A great festival was held to celebrate the reformation of the Grand Companies. People in the streets were hooting and hollering and setting off fire spouts, and all the ships in the bay, now bedecked in maelstrom colors, let loose their cannons. It seems so foolish now, knowing what was soon to befall us, but all that noise served a purpose nonetheless, drowning out the fear that ever whispered in our ears. It is my firm belief that the Rising fireworks serve the same purpose even now. They prevent a vision of loveliness, of togetherness, that we might forget our fears and be given hope for a brighter future. Alright, that's a good bit of information to start with. Ooh, I love the crystal decorations. Very good. The streets are full of life, the sky's full of fire, and with the westerly winds filling our seafarer sails as it does our hearts. I couldn't have picked a better time to come home. You a sailor too, are ya? No, but I am curious how you're feeling about the Rising. Helping with the fireworks, you say? Good on you, lass. I have a few memories of back then, if you've been ear to hear 'em. I'm a merchant seaman, you see, always sailing hither and thither across the waves. Was just back from a trip to Rod's Han when the calamity struck. Everyone was looking up to the sky and that loathsome lantern that hung low in it. Like most folk, I don't remember much of what happened the days before or after it fell, but I'll never forget those faces. And that's what I love so much about the fireworks. You see the same faces looking up, but this time with a smile. Reminds you not only of the bad times, but how we got over them. Alright, running theme of hope I'm seeing. Alright, hello there. Can you see them too, my love? I'm here to ask you about the Rising. You're involved with the fireworks and want to know what I think of them. Well, just now I was wondering if they can be seen from far out in the offing. Do you know? I see. The reason I ask is that my husband is out there now. He meant to be back by rising night, but it seems the tide didn't turn in his favor. He was so looking forward to the fireworks. I do hope that he can see them from where he is, that we can share them together no matter how far apart we might be. That is my only request to you, that you make the finale as bright and boisterous as you can, that all those who cannot be together this rising might still share in its message. Alright, sounds good, though personally, in real life, not a fan of fireworks. They are honestly terrifying. I hate the loud bangs. They sound too much like gunshots to me. which I know they don't strictly sound like gunshots, but like, it's similar enough that it sets me off. Alright there, anything I can do for you? Sadojbi, what are you doing down here? You're normally up at the Drowning Wench. Anyways, I'm here to ask you what you think about the fireworks. You're asking for people's thoughts on the rising fireworks? Heh, would have thought a great hero like you would have better things to do with your time, but I suppose that's what makes you a hero, eh? Helping people out whichever way you can. Well, I'm like most people, I suppose. I think of those I lost. My parents, most of all. I wonder if they're watching too. Swim up from the bottom of the ethereal sea to see what all the crashing and banging is about. It's complicated, I suppose. I feel sad they're gone, but I'm happy I'm not. And grateful to Baderon for saving me and so many others. If they are watching, I hope they can see me too. See that I'm doing alright for myself, that they might sleep soundly for another 12 months. Alright, so that basically confirms we don't use the word year in Eorzea, we use the word 12 month. Fair enough, we also use the word fortnight to mean 14 nights. That's actually where fortnight comes from. Fort's short for 14. Means 2 weeks. And for 1 week it's Senite, which Sen is short for 7. So that's fun. Alright, let's wait around for a yo-yo to arrive. I'm starting to think that my roommates were yelling at an RP character rather than an actual character in the event. Sorry to keep you waiting, dearie, so what did you find out? Well, lots of talk of hope, gratitude that they survived, remembering those who lost, and a desire for it to be a boisterous ending so everyone can see. Same here. Was half expecting them to just look like looking at the pretty lights, but it seems the feeling runs a lot deeper than that. The memories of the calamity still sit heavy on their hearts, but the rising fireworks go some way to lifting that weight. So, any ideas for the grand display? What kind of thing do you reckon would help lift those spirits the most? Ooh. I think this would be I feel like this would be the best option. People are already going to be remembering the past during the Rising. That's kind of the point of the festival. But we are remembering the past so that we can have hope for the future, that we can prevent future calamities, future catastrophes. So I'm going to say something that gives people hope for the future. Hope for the future, eh? That ain't a bad idea. Reminding folk that however dark the night, dawn is just around the corner. The Rising ain't just about mourning those we lost, after all, it's about remembering the struggles of those who survived, to steer us to a brighter future. Ah, that's it. That's what Limsa needs this Rising. Ships, cannons, a departure salute. Not just for the fallen, but for those set on sail for unknown shores. A vision of the past and of the future. An old bleeding armada filling Galadian Bay, lighting up the very heavens. Who wouldn't want to watch that? Sounds good. That's settled then. Ah, the minstrel's gonna love it. He said he'd be up by the aft castle, right? I'll see you there. Alright, I'll meet you up at the aft castle then. Let's get moving. Alright, hello there, wandering minstrel. We are back. Let's see now. 1,500 weight of fire sand at 500 yalms from shore. Reckon we're gonna need more ships. Oh, you're already doing the math. Have fun with that. Our intrepid adventurer returns and positively bursting with inspiration, I take it. Yeah, so we have decided on something that brings people hope for the future. I see a traditional seafaring salute not only to the memories of the fallen, but to the future fortune of those who follow in their wake. A most fitting proposal, I'm sure. Thanks to both of ya, but our work ain't done yet. There's a lot needs sorting out before we can put this idea into action. So much to do, so little time. If you wouldn't mind helping us a little longer, dearie, I'd be forever in your debt. Let me know when you've got your loins good and girded. Alright, I'm ready to help out. What do you need me for next? Now that is a reference. God damn. Wow, that is a... I haven't thought about that song in forever. Wow. Okay then. Reward's going to be brushed up Kryl. Kryl has been mentioned in the main story. Unfortunately, I could not dodge the fact that this event's inevitably going to spoil that she's going to become part of the main story. Oops, oh well. We're not skipping a seasonal event, especially not this one. But yeah, Kryl's gonna become part of the main story, and she's particularly relevant right now. She's getting her arc in the main story. But we can talk about the details when we get to Dawn Trail. That's a long ways off. But yeah, we're getting a minion of her. A Yo-Yo asks for our continued assistance in seeing her plan for the Rising fireworks realized. Right then, let's get started, shall we, dearie? The plan is we're gonna line up an old fleet of ships across the bay and have them fire a broadside into the sky. But before we go about finding our fleet, we need to get the plan approved by the organizing committee, and that means convincing Commodore Reiner. I'll take the lead, but I ain't exactly got the silverest tongue, nor much experience nobbling with the higher-ups. If you two see me struggling, put in a word, won't you? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Of course, my lady, your cause is ours. Thank you, my dears. Together then to the Coral Tower. Alright then, sounds like we're gonna have a bit of a mini-game here. Let's go do it. Let's go convince Reiner. Oh wow, I thought we were meeting in the Coral Tower, so I spaced out and ran right past him. Hello there, a Yo-Yo and Wandering Minstrel. Commodore Reiner worked his way up the ranks all the way from rock bottom to the tippity top. He knows the workings of the thalassocracy in and out, so any flaws in our proposal and he'll see right through them. Then we're gonna have to be ready. Last I had the privilege of meeting with the Commodore was around the time of the calamity. I'd been arrested for conspiracy to incite rebellion. Naturally, it was all a misunderstanding. Yoshi P, what did you do? Some other scurrilous soul had been singing songs of sedition. If not for Reiner and his relentless pursuit of the truth, I might still be lingering in the brig. He's a shrewd investigator who will brook no equivocation. Shall we then? Let's go. Oh, I'm curious about that story. Is that in the 1.0 storyline? I wonder. Wanting to make the Rising display special, I can fathom, but the sheer scale of this proposal is beyond anything I imagined. A Yo-Yo, need I remind you that the first duty of the Yellow Jackets is the keeping of the peace? Filling the bay with ships would not only disturb the daily workings of the harbor, but is sure to foment agitation among the commons. Knowing this, do you still mean to persevere with this outlandish plan? I do, Commander. Every Lominsan art, every Eorzean art still bears the scars of the calamity. All that loss, that hardship, that struggle, it cut deep. But the Rising ain't just about looking to the past, it's about looking to the future, too. And if it's our duty to watch over folk, keep them on the straight and narrow like, I reckon it's our duty to see them off on another year's journey, too. Well put. I accept that your intentions are pure, but what are the logistics? I trust you have a plan as to who exactly will be providing and paying for this fleet of yours. Yes, Commander, we're going to petition the Maelstrom for the flagship and the rest from the Black Sails. Of course, one is wont to forget that those buccaneering souls remain bound to serve the Maelstrom in times of necessity. Lady Yo-Yo would have us parlay with the three great pirate captains and remind them of their civic duty, it seems. Ah, that's right. The pirates answered the Admiral's call back when the moon was fallen. Fought and died at Cartano, same as the rest of us. When they hear about our plan to salute all those who fell and all those who didn't, I don't doubt they'll answer the call again. I wish you all the luck in the world in recruiting those rogues to your cause. You shall need it. Very well then, allow me to arrange the parley. Should you succeed in this feat, you may consider all of my remaining doubts answered. Well, that's gonna be a struggle. I bid you remember that you go speak with pirates. Lawless marauders all. Pray that you do not say aught to offend them, lest we find ourselves with a mutiny on our hands. I shall have the Maelstrom summon the leaders of the 3 factions to the anchor yard. Pray go there and complete your preparations. Alright then, if we're gonna go speak with pirates... Actually, might even want to take off the job since we're a proper rogue. You know what, it's fine. We are to parley with pirates. Truly, life is but a succession of unexpected events. Alrighty, Yo-Yo, are you really sure about this? Cheers for sticking with me, you two. I hope I can count on your support in the next set of negotiations and all. Of course, my lady. Alas, I fear the captains, those far-famed scourges of the seas, will prove rather less biddable partners than Commodore Reiner did. While Roswin of the Sanguine Sirens may be swayed by emotion, Carvalane of the Kraken's Arms is of a much more mercenary mind. The Executioners, meanwhile, value honor and glory above all else. If there is aught that unites them, it is a zealous spirit. Let us argue with passion that we might inflame theirs. If it's passion you're after, I've got that in bleeding bucket loads. But I might need you two to jump in again in case my tongue decides to tie itself in naff itch. Just say the first thing that comes into your heads and I'll pick up after. Alright then. We're gonna need a lot of luck then. Come on then, dearies, let's head over to the anchor yard and get this parlay started. Alright then. Roswin, Carvalane, and the leader of the Executioners. This is going to be very interesting. Alright, in case you've forgotten where the anchor yard is, it's going to be west of the aft castle through the Highlead, and then southwest from there. Not too long of a trek. Just a little bit out of the way. Not really much reason to come over here usually. Alright then. Let's wait for the parlay to begin, and since we've got a rogue here, they'll know not to mess with us, hopefully. Thanks for coming. The reason we asked you here is... the Maelstrom summons laid it out for us loud and clear. You want us to help you with Horizon fireworks. And the answer's no. When my sirens fire a broadside, it's to send our enemies to the bottom of the briny, not to paint pretty pictures in the sky for drylanders to gawp at. We've better things to be doing with our time. 'Tis a rare occurrence to be sure, but I find that my opinion aligns with Roswin's. Our time is precious, as I am sure is yours. Let us hasten to draw these discussions to a close. I shall put it bluntly. I see no profit in this endeavor for myself and my men, so unless there's anything else... Oh god. If Rosin wasn't here, this might work. It would be funny to wound his pride. But I think this would be the most directly obviously positive for him. You would put the Admiral and the Yellow Jackets in your debt. Don't you want to put the military in your debt? A debt of gratitude, perhaps, for providing the men and material for this pageantry entirely at our own expense. I saw no mention of the Krakens being compensated for our efforts in a material sense, or am I mistaken? The sheer scale of the spectacle we propose would no doubt draw all the lords and ladies of the realm to gather in the city. Personages of high renown and deep pockets. Aye, and if they saw you lot working hand in hand with the Maelstrom, it'd do wonders for your public image. Folks who normally wouldn't touch a pirate with a barge pole would be queuing up to do business with ya. I do believe you have a point, poorly phrased though it might be. To win legitimate business, one must project the image of a legitimate businessman. Sod your image, and sod anyone who's too lily-livered to trade with us. They can stick their barge poles up their backsides. What's in it for the sirens? God! Wow! I'm so tempted! No, it's an obvious trick. It's an obvious trap. We know Roswin and Carvalane are having sex. We know that they will never admit it to anyone, and to say it in front of anyone else will just ruin this. I'm curious where this one will go. She's not interested in this. And this will backfire, so this feels like our best option. If you won't consider them customers, consider them quarry. Ha! You do realize our days of pillaging every ship we see are long gone. Quarry my arse! The sanguine sirens ain't all about the pirating life though, are ya? You run almshouses for the sick and injured and those with child. Keep themselves busy with odd jobs such as come their way. Oh, I did not know that about the sirens. Respect for them going way up. Them's your hunters, and the folk who are drawn to the city to see the grand display your quarry. Ah, I see where you're going with this. Getting the girls to set up stalls selling food and grog and the like, and they'd make a killing, providing they had all the right permits from the other jackets. You're a shrewd one, you. Maybe I could lend him an hand myself. They do say the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Wow, she's not subtle. What are the executioners? There is no dishonor in linking arms with Admiral Merlvib and the Maelstrom, surely. You, Yellow Jacket, I want you to tell me one thing and tell it true. This is Limzulomins, the greatest port in all the realm. You could find this fleet of yours without our help, yet you've come here begging for it. Why? Because I reckon you're the ones who need the rising most. The Black Sails only came together because of Cartno. You could have upped anchor and sailed off into the sunset, but no. You fought like demons on those cursed flats, made heroes of yourselves and martyrs. The way I see it, it's only right that those who lost the most when they stood to gain the least should be the ones to fire the salute to the departed. And a salute to the departing, too. The calamity changed the lives of you pirates more than anyone. If anyone should be celebrating new beginnings, it's those whose new beginnings already begun. Heh! Ha! So it's all for our own good, is it? I'm heading back to the Astalacia. Send word when you've hammered out the details of this display of yours. We'll see what we can do. Aye aye, Cap'n. Can't rightly say no to you now, can I? We lost a lot of good people back in Cartano. Let's send them all off with a bloody great bang. I will join you on one condition, that in your reminiscence of trauma past, you do not make a shameful spectacle of yourself. Pray do not force me to restrain you, again. I feel like she'd enjoy that. I'm not gonna leave them alone. I'm going to bully them forever. I never forced you to do nothing. You'll keep your hands off me if you want to keep them, you randy bastard. Quite the fragile flower, isn't she? Well then, I bid you adieu. My ships will not ready themselves. That went swimmingly. I think the only one I may have made a mistake on was Carvalane, but it felt like that went all pretty well. The only thing that makes me think I may have done wrong on Carvalane was he called it poorly phrased. But I feel like insulting him and also making a dig at his relationship with Roswin would have both been bad ideas. My hearty congratulations to both of you. It was my honor to play a supporting part, but it was your passion for the Rising that swayed them. I feel like the final message to the Bloody Executioners would have been the save if you had failed the first two as well. And breathe. God, I was so nervous I could hardly speak. Thanks so much for chipping in when you did. Could never have got him on our side without you. Right then, time to put the finishing touches to this plan of mine. It's gonna be wonderful, I just know it. Oh, and about your reward, I've given it to the minstrel. You can grab it from him. To new beginnings last, and may the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. Alright, this was a pretty good one. I really like this rising. Let's finish it off. You did a great service, my friend, both for Lady Yo-Yo and for all those who love the rising. Myself included. For that I shall be ever grateful. I expect it shall be still some hours before preparations for the grand finale are complete. Mayhap we could wait together. Let's do it. While we wait, would you care to hear a verse that has lately come to me? It is a song of celebration, of encouragement for all those who sail for unknown shores. Pray lend me your ears. Greetings, warrior of light. This is the world that exists outside your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. Why Hingen clothes? 'Tis a pleasure to meet you again. As I have in the past, I have beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude. The road we have walked has been long and winding, full of perils and pitfalls, but we have enjoyed every step in your company. We hope that you feel the same about this last great leap. Oh yes, I cannot wait for us to get to Dawntrail because it is such a good expansion. With every adventure we undertake, the longer the legacy we leave behind us. Yet a lengthy history need not mean a foreshortened future. Many adventures yet await. We shall continue to chart a course into the great unknown, one that takes in all the diverse wonders of this wide world has to offer, that your legacy might grow ever greater. To be certain, it would be a less trying task to sleepwalk ever onward down the same well-furrowed path, yet to venture down paths untrodden, believing in the bright and glorious future that lies beyond them, is by far the more rewarding. This is the gift we wish to deliver unto you, the gift of adventure. And we pray with all our hearts that you will continue to walk with us. We thank you for joining us on this journey, heretofore and hereafter. Now, the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. One cannot know what fills the hearts and minds of those who look to the sky this rising night. Perhaps you and I will see very different images in those explosions of light and color. Oh, interesting. Did your choices earlier in the quest affect which fireworks you get? Interesting. But one thing I know for certain, that right here, right now, we look to the same sky. And though the paths that lay ahead of us may lead in very different directions, sometime, someplace they shall cross again. Tis almost time for the display to begin, the consummation of not only our labors, but the thoughts and prayers of the people of this fair city. A salute for the departed, and for those who set sail into unknown waters. Many adventures yet await you, my friend. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. From eastern sea to eastern sky, the sacred sun ascends, and voices stir of winds of waves, of ropes of sails of friends, who like the golden light of dawn that streams across the sea, set sunlit sail for foreign lands, may fortune follow thee. Her journey done, so sinks the sun below the western waves, and memories stir of friends of yore, asleep in watery graves. Let not our voices raised in song disturb your endless sleep, but join us in our chorus and you dream among the deep. An excerpt from an ancient mariner song, a prayer for the safe return of those who sail over the far horizon, and for the peace of those who sleep beneath those same eternal waves. It concludes with a wish that the voices of those whose spirits are stirred in anticipation of new adventure reach the ears of those whose adventures ended too soon, that they might be united as one. A fitting sentiment for the rising, methinks. And so I offer you my own heartfelt wish, that even should your adventures carry you beyond the far-flung horizon of this wide world, we should meet once more in a 12 month's time, and look up to the same sky, together. Nah, the fireworks don't change with your choices. That's a really good spectacle of a fireworks show, but it does not change with your choices. I was misled. I need to stop reading too much into Yoshi P's message in The Rising. I always do it, and it always steers me wrong. Alright, we've unlocked the toy chest. Certain noble personages have been seen to front the anchor yard this rising. Do the same, and we may be greeted with an unexpected encounter. Ooh, interesting. For 11th... Oh, because it's the 11th year of Final Fantasy XIV. Fair enough. Alright then. Let's see. Let's first off get the brushed up Kryl minion. She is not to be rushed off in the face of danger. I can't wait for you to meet Kryl. She is a very fun character. Alright, where... Oh, she's right here. On the occasion of the anniversary of Eorzea's rebirth, the Adventurers Guild commissioned a new mammoth designed in Kryl's likeness. With the hood of her Pictomancer's attire drawn back to reveal her precious earring, she exudes the spirit of adventure and discovery. I'm eager to put my Pictomancy to the proof. From Kryl and Dawntrail. I do love The Rising. It's always a very sentimental event, which can be a little bit cheesy and corny, but I like that kind of stuff. I love exactly that kind of emotionality. It just feels good. Alright then, let's see who we get here at the anchor yard. A soft westerly wind blows across the anchor yard. We're gonna go until we start getting repeats. We hear footsteps approaching. We turn and see... Oh, we only have 3 choices. There's probably more choices if you've made further progress in the main story, but I'm not going to show those to try and minimize spoilers, since this is an ongoing Let's Play of the game. Let's start off with the proprietor of the Drowning Wench. Hello there, Bateron. If it ain't me old pal Satora, here to beg the old bird for guidance too, are ya? Sadojbi said you had an hand in this year's fireworks, and not a bad job you made of them, neither. Yeah, it was rather fun running around and helping out. You met Sadojbi down in Hawker's Alley, I sent her to pick up some stock for the wench. But do you know what she brought me back? Only a bottle of bleeding Bacchus. Paid for it out of her own pocket, she did, to thank me again for saving her life. Ah, Bacchus wine reference. I'm curious if that, it might still be referenced, even if you have not progressed past Titan. But it would be a lot more meaningful before Titan, since it's so rare before you find the Bacchus vine in the Titan quest line. Don't know why she's so hung up about it. The girl's paid me back 100 times over with all her hard work over the years. Felt a bit bad accepting it, but, well, a bottle of Bacchus is a bottle of Bacchus. Reckon it's you we should be thanking anyway for that marvelous display. All the ships in the harbor and the fire in the sky have brought back a lot of memories. Some good, some bad, but every one of them well worth remembering. And we ain't done making them yet. You'll be off on your next adventure soon enough, I wager? Well, you can't rightly be striding out on an empty stomach now, can ya? Come up to the wench and we'll fill your belly. Well, I'll have to accept your offer, I guess. Alright, 2 more to go. Oh, and the minstrel's still hanging out here too. Next up, the head chef of the Bismarck. Hey, sorry it's been a while since I checked it. I haven't unlocked your next quest. Haven't reached Heavensward yet. Well, 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 I've come to feel Limlane's breath on my face only to find the faithless besom whispering in the ear of another. How have you been keeping, Satora? I hear we've got you to thank for the Rising display. Oh, Yo-Yo's been singing your praises from Fisherman's Bottom to the Coral Tower. What? Surprised I know her? Limbs is a small place, lass. Hardly a day goes by I don't see a yellow jacket or several in the Bismarck. Whether it's to sup on the finest food and wine this side of the sea, or to clap the irons on those who've been tapped the casks a touch too thirstily. Suppose an adventurer like you mightn't have noticed, always coming and going as you are, but stick around for the city for a while and you'll see. The jackets ain't just axes for ire, they're true friends of the common folk. Good if true. I come from an area of the world where the cops are generally not to be trusted and not safe to be around, so... A Yo-Yo was a retainer before the calamity struck, you know. Her master had a thing for fireworks. Every time they came back from their wanderings, they'd load her down with an 100-weight of spouts and spinners they'd picked up from God knows nowhere. Day and night, you'd see her down in the market ward, beaming that sunny smile of hers at every passerby, trying her damnedest to flog the stuff. Enjoyed the work, I reckon, but then Dalamud fell and she lost her master. Literally lost him. The way she tells it, it was as if the calamity burned an hole in her memory and they fell straight through. Couldn't remember their face nor their Oh! Oh, shit! Hold on. I'm gonna cut right here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check something. Okay, so he said retainer, so my initial thought was wrong. That means she was not a path companion. But that does mean, oh wow, were retainers in 1.0? Because this directly means that she worked with the Warrior of Light, who would have been the player character in 1.0. So if you played in 1.0 and you had her as a retainer, it could have literally been her. That's so interesting. That is fascinating. My initial thought was maybe she was a path companion, but lost her master and she worked as a retainer. No, she was not a path companion. We can talk about path companions, I guess now since I brought it up. I'll keep it really brief. Path companions were... In 1.0, they assigned you a path companion, which was basically an NPC who did all the speaking for you. Since they didn't want to write your character, they like to keep the main character as the silent protagonist so you can fill in the blanks of what they say. The path companion basically acted as the person who actually spoke for you in a lot of main story quests. It was interesting. It was definitely interesting. God, I wish I could play 1.0. I really want to try it out. It sounds like... I know it's a bad game, but I keep being told by friends that I specifically would have unironically enjoyed it, and I really want to try it. But she never forgot the fireworks. The amount of gunpowder that went through her hands over the years, she couldn't help learning a bit about making things go bang. An apprenticeship with the Cannoneers later, and she was a Yellow Jacket. So when I heard they were the ones who'd been put in charge of the Rising display, I knew she'd be first to volunteer. The Rising, the fireworks, they mean a lot to her. And as a friend, they mean a lot to me, so thank you. They probably write her so that even if you did play 1.0, she wasn't necessarily your retainer, because canonically there were many Warriors of Light. But still, that is interesting that you could work her into your story like that. Alright, last up, the Admiral herself. Satora, this is a coincidence? Reiner was just telling me of the role you played in putting the display together. I'm sure all those who gathered in my city to witness it were as moved as I. Oh, yes, very, very sad news recently. The Japanese voice actress for Merlevit has passed away recently. Yeah. It really sucks. Rest in peace. You will be missed, though I play the English dub, so I haven't really heard her Japanese voice actress. It's still obviously a tragedy. A salute to all those who set sail for new adventures. It shall surely resound in their hearts and give them strength and courage in the year to come. I suppose in that sense, the Rising this year has a little bit more meaning. And a salute to the fallen too, was it not? Many and more lost their lives on the fields of Carteneau, the men and women of the Black Sails chief among them. I thank you for giving those who survived them this chance to put their grief to more productive ends. I thank you for giving the celebrations an unmistakable touch of salt too. This year's Rising was not merely in Limizolominsa, but of her. I look forward to seeing how future host cities follow our example. But for now, let us focus on the present. I'm sure I've kept you from your business for far too long already, and I must return to mine. I must offer my prayer to Lim Lane and be on my way. Fare you well, Satora. I wish you safe voyages for the year to come. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. Oh, is Lim Lane's mark around here? Yeah, it is. It must be over by that statue. Well, in that case, we might as well go offer a prayer before we set off. Yeah, there's her mark right there. While I do not follow Lim Lane myself, being a follower of Menfina, it still only feels appropriate. And with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, we continue the main story with Ether on Demand. Happy Rising, everyone. I'll see everyone next time for that.